to the Morning Blitz with John Abraham, Captain Cool, and the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Captain Cool.
Hello and welcome in, everybody, to a Freaky Friday. Wait, who's that? Steve Smith said something bad on air last night? Who's in the wrong here, okay? Because I watched this clip right off the bat, and I'll play it for you guys so you guys get a little bit more, what's going down in this situation. But Steve Smith, former Panthers, former Ravens wide receiver, he's an analyst now. Honestly, you might see him every once in a while.
Yeah, as all former professional players are.
Of course, and you love to see a little bit of beef between people, but honestly, the way that he was placing this down was it was a little bit like like a middle school fight, I would say. But this is what Steve Smith had to say about Jerry Jeudy last night prior to the kickoff to that just abysmal football game over in Arrowhead.
Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy was walking by, and Steve called out to him, and he got a different reaction.
I called out to him because on my podcast, Cut to It, I just talked about guys that maybe have not showed up in the way or in the manner. And so the word that I've used to describe him in the past was a jag, just a guy.
Just a guy.
When I saw him, he's playing well. I wanted to say to him face to face, like, hey, I know I said some things in the past I probably shouldn't have, and I'm sorry. That's what I wanted to say to him. His response, Mike Ra, was ninja.
Okay.
Ninja. Yes, I'm using the word ninja. I'm just using the word ninja.
Scratch your head a little
bit. I don't
bit.
mess with you. And it was a curse word. And so I was like, all right. And then he repeated it. So I'll say it again. I'm sorry that I said you were a jag, just a guy who's an average wide receiver they use a first-round pick on that isn't doing anything. I hope today that you actually show up in a way that you haven't showed up in the last couple of years since they drafted you. So if you ever got a problem with Agent 89, I'm sorry for saying that you're an average wide receiver, that they eventually will move on. And when teams call me and asking, should they trade for you, I will say no, don't trade for Jerry Jeudy because he's mentally unable to handle constructive criticism from people who watch specifically, can he be a wide receiver? He could be a wide receiver. He's a tier 3.
I'm done.
Go back into the studio. I'm done now. Thank you.
See ya. I'm done. Get me out of here. I gotta say, all right, Jerry Jeudy, he hasn't really had the best luck in his time. Playing with this Broncos team, it's not gonna really give him anything on the good side. But it's the same goes for Steve Smith. Okay, this guy played for the worst quarterbacks in the history of football, and honestly, he even said this himself. The best quarterback he played with was Jake Delhomme, only because he went to a Super Bowl. Only because he went to a Super Bowl. Outside of that, he played a game or two with Flacco and Cam Newton. But he played with guys that you might not even know their names, okay, when I go down this. Chris Weink, who is this guy? Maybe I'm saying his name wrong. I don't know. Never heard of him, okay? One guy I do know, Vinny Testaverde, I know him. David Carr, okay. Matt Moore, okay. Jimmy Clausen, terrible quarterback right there. Matt Leiter, okay. And he's got a little bit of credit to him, okay? Steve Smith was a great wide receiver, okay? So he can say some of this stuff, but when you look over at this Denver, oh my gosh, this Denver offense, they are completely regressing back to what they were last year. Not that this year was anything special to talk about, okay? Russell Wilson's too short to be a quarterback in the NFL, and you know what? We've seen Kyler Murray do better things than him. Kyler Murray's probably going to get traded. Russell Wilson needs to get traded. And honestly, Sean Payton isn't doing anything for this organization with the Broncos. Bandy, before you say this year's looking better than last year for the Broncos, and who really cares?
You thought I was going to say that?
No. But I look at this team.
You don't give me enough credit, Captain Cool, because what have I been saying all year? I thought it was going to be different.
You thought it was going to be different.
I thought there was going to be change. Sean Payton was going to come in, actually set the record straight there in Denver.
Get him out of
They
there.
were finally going to be able to properly use Russell Wilson. No.
It's the same as last year, guys. We look at the first game of the season, Raiders versus Broncos. They lose to the Raiders.
We got baited.
It's not a good team. This Raiders team's not a good team. We didn't know what to expect. But then in the second game of the season, Commanders, 35-33. Offense is doing well, but they're not winning games. The defense isn't showing up. 70-20 from the Dolphins. So still, facing off against mediocre opponents and then the Dolphins and then getting shut out 70-20. Goes up against the Bears. Holy crap. They almost get shut out 28-0. Come back at the end of the game because the Bears just forgot to play the fourth quarter and win that one 31-28. That's their first win of the season. They move on, and guess who they lose to next? It's not a good team. It's the New York Jets. Zach Wilson. And then they move on, finally play an opponent that is worth, actually watching, and it's the Chiefs. And the Chiefs and the Dolphins have done pretty much what they want with this team. I mean, the Chiefs didn't even have to score touchdowns. Freaking Patrick Mahomes was throwing interceptions left and right, and this team was still able to get down the field. He was throwing up the 300 yards. It was beautiful. He just wasn't able to score touchdowns. Taylor Swift dancing in the crowd. Travis Kelce got every single ball he threw. That Chiefs team's not as good as it looks either. So, I don't know.
Honestly, I thought I was watching more Taylor Swift than football.
Yeah, it felt like that at one point. I was like, hey, that's Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Yeah, they were cutting to her more than they were cutting to the commentators.
Exactly. She's hanging out. I thought it was Miley Cyrus that she was hanging out with, but it wasn't. Either way, we got to move on, guys. It is a Freaky Friday here at No Man's Land, meaning you guys can hop in on the picks. We got some crazy, wacky, stupid underdog picks for you guys to hop in on, and we are going to be going crazy with them. Because throughout this whole event that we've been doing, nobody has won on these stupid underdog picks, which means everybody's at 0, which means everybody has just the same chance to win that part of your 2 overs at Gunners Landing Country Club. It's going to be awesome, guys. We're going to be looking at Auburn versus LSU, Texas versus A&M, Bama versus Arkansas, Oregon versus Washington, Kentucky versus Missouri, UCLA versus Oregon State. Gonna be a nice one. And on top of that, obviously got to get into Notre Dame's versus the USC's, because honestly, I do think this Notre Dame team has a good chance of winning this game and finally putting USC in a situation where it's like we actually need to play a little bit of defense, right? Okay, Lincoln Riley's like, we need to actually bring our defense to the field this game. Pac-12 is ridiculous. I'll just say that. It's a lot of fun to see. And then on top of that, obviously, we got to hop into Miami versus North Carolina. It's another one of those ranked matchups. Bandy's like, okay, yeah, we could do that. And then on top of that, why not? Tulane versus Memphis. These are 2 solid teams.
Now we're getting out there.
Now we're really getting out there. But we're talking Tulane and Memphis because, first off, Memphis right now is a 4.5-point underdog. And both of these teams are 4-1 going into this game. And it should be a pretty fun matchup to see, 2 lesser, opponents going up against each other, seeing what they can do. And you guys might be able to get 4.5 points. If you want to go crazy, bet Arkansas beating Alabama. That's if you want to get a little bit, zesty, I would say.
I mean, no, you want to get zesty. I mean, we got Georgia Vanderbilt over there.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
I mean, minus 31 for Georgia. I mean, you want to get a little zesty.
Like, I was thinking about asking Drew about that game later on in the show, and then I was thinking he's going to look at me like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Are we really talking about this, Captain Cool?
No, we don't want to talk about it. Vanderbilt's not going to do anything in this game. Georgia's going to be able to just assert their dominance all the way through. But if you guys want to throw it in there, there's a slim chance, not on this planet, but there's a slim chance that Vanderbilt might win this game. And, you might get 30.5 points because that's exactly what they're going to be getting if they do.
Yeah, and again, you want to branch out, too. We got some good NFL games, too. I mean, you got the Cardinals and the Rams. The Rams a touchdown favorite. Cardinals Offense hasn't been terrible.
No, it hasn't.
But with the Rams, you now have a dual threat of Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp.
I love saying that name.
I know. Puka Nacua just rolls right off the tongue. And on top of that, Rams got Tutu Atwell. On top of that, they've got a little bit of help in the running back position, obviously, with Kyren Williams. This team's looking good, okay? It's kind of similar to, I would say, the Vikings, except for they're actually able to put stuff together and find victories, whereas the Vikings, they have Kirk Cousins as a quarterback, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, Justin Jefferson's probably going to be heading out of Minnesota pretty soon.
Really? You think so?
I think so. I mean, there's kind of a trend with Minnesota. I mean, you got some good wide receivers
That is true. Stephon Diggs.
that leave after a while.
Yeah.
Randy Moss.
Yeah, Randy Moss, Stephon Diggs. I mean, these are guys that really helped out
About to be Justin Jefferson.
this organization. And, I mean, there's room for them to get rid of Justin Jefferson if they want to possibly try and trade him away. Right now, obviously, he's on the IR. But, I mean, they do have, KJ Osborne. On top of that, they have the new rookie wide receiver, Jordan Addison. So these 2 guys, they're able to do a lot. And the tight end is pretty good, too, TJ Hawkinson. You got a lot of stock right here that you could either trade away or ride on until the end of the season, and you can figure out, what you want to do then. But that trade deadline's coming up. It's on Halloween, so definitely got to see what those teams are going to be doing, and we'll be keeping it up with you guys, for you guys over on the other side. But you can join in on the show, 256-576-4.
97.7
is the number to hop in. And, Bandy, when we come back, we're going to be talking with one Mr. Joe Hunk. That's right, we're talking with Joe Hung from 104.5 The Zone to help you guys out with some of your picks. And then we're going to be getting into a conversation with Drew DeArmond. And then we're hopping back into the picks so you guys can hop in and get in on the Gunners Landing fun here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowery of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
The best place to get 50s diner-style homemade delectables is Bubby's Diner. Located at 8412 Whitesburg Drive Southeast, try their all-new expanded breakfast menu with homemade waffles, omelets, and shrimp and grits. With 3 generations of experience, Chris Bubby Belcher has the best burgers in town. Don't forget to leave without a homemade pie or a hand-spun milkshake. Give Bubby's a call today at 256-513-8080. Bubby's Diner, home of the donut burger.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today. 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
The Huntsville Sports Commission is driven by you, driven by those with grit, determination, and a goal to succeed. This is why we do what we do. The Huntsville Sports Commission promotes an enhanced quality of life in the Huntsville area through sports. We work hard to make sure those who come to Huntsville to compete have all they need to be the best they can be. The Huntsville Sports Commission. We do sports. Find out more at huntsvillesports.org.
Is your AC system or heating unit making those sounds that go bump in the middle of the night? Thomas here from Talon Heating and Air again. Thomas, you guys are just a phone call away from keeping those ghosts and goblins from causing nightmare problems.
That's right. We're offering a $59 special right now to do a heating tune-up. That's getting your air conditioner or your heater ready for the wintertime. We're also doing a free gas safety inspection along with that. So if you have gas in your home, we have Master Gas here on staff. We're certified with the state to take care of all your gas issues. So we're going to throw that in with that $59 tune-up.
And if you can get that tune-up now, it'll be ready to go once the cold temperature set in.
That's right. Yeah, all you have to do is give us a call at 256-503-4490. Visit us at our website, talenthvac.com. We'll be more than happy to get out there and get you tuned up.
One more time with the phone number.
256-503-4490.
Talent Heating and Air. Don't let those heating and cooling units go bump in the night.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Bandiman here alongside Captain Cool John Abraham.
What's up, Bandy? I got back to my chair. We got a lot of fun to get into here in a second with one Mr. Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone in Nashville. But before we do that, obviously we do need to tell you guys that this show is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online and fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. Also, if you guys want to get in your wacky underdog picks, you can also just go on to the 97.7 ESPN The Zone on Twitter, and you can just add us your underdog pick or message us. Bandy will get a hold of that. Won't you, Bandy? Yeah, you'll get a hold of that.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, he's got you. Either way. Well, on the Neighbors Well Management Hotline is one Mr. Joe Hunk. Joe, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing better than my daughter is right now, but that's about it right now. Yeah, I'm actually right down the street from you guys. Like, I'm actually standing on the Parkway as we speak. Well, not on the Parkway. That'd be kind of weird.
No.
But yeah, right down the street from you guys. I'm actually at the Drake Avenue overpass right now.
Well, there you go. I mean, if you're driving by there, just kind of keep an eye out for Joe driving in his car.
Hey, about to say, you can just, pop in real quick and just, make this an in-studio thing.
That's what I told him.
I'm telling you, if this would have been, 10 minutes later, I probably actually could have. Yeah, no, we were down and getting her 6-month-old shots and getting her ears pierced and all that, and so I was like, yeah, no, we're good. We're hanging out. We're fine.
I got you. That's sick. Well, we're going to be talking a little bit of these wacky underdog picks today, kind of looking over at the NFL. Obviously, Broncos didn't do anything last night to try and, make sure they're an actual competent team when it comes to winning games. But there's a bunch of other games that are going on that we might see. And one of those that I want to look at is this Arizona Cardinals team going up against the LA Rams at LA. Right now, 7-point underdogs the Cardinals are.
Yeah, no, and actually Josh Jacobs is playing very well.
Yeah.
In fact, he's actually not a bad fantasy football pick. If you want to grab him, you need a quarterback for a bye week. But no, that's the other thing about the Cardinals is this Rams team is very good, especially now that they're going to be adding Cooper Kupp back. They're adding more weapons to it. Now, some odd way that they've been playing much better recently, even though, the whole Matthew Stafford not being able to connect with his wide receivers and understanding the younger generation. But they have a lot of weapons, and they have a ton of speed. That's where the thing is. That's where a lot of these NFL teams are trying to do. Well, I mean, outside the Titans, they don't believe in speed. But other than the other teams in the NFL, they're all trying to get players that are faster. Now that you're starting to see that, adding Cooper Kupp into this is going to add a lot of versatility to the offense. And yes, they're a passing football team. They run out of shotgun a lot, but they also have a tremendous defense where they're going to be able to stop teams in this. They've been rebuilding since that Super Bowl. That whole idea was we're going to win the Super Bowl, and then that's all we're caring about because it was going to be in our stadium, and we want to win it in our stadium, and that's exactly what they did. And then now they're trying to rebuild, but they're actually doing it a lot quicker than a lot of teams thought they would.
Yeah, exactly. And then moving over, speaking of speed and moving over to the college world, a game that I want to look at, it's going to be a little bit intriguing, is this Auburn versus LSU matchup. And I know you're probably thinking, well, what does Auburn have on LSU? Well, in the last 3 years, they've got 2 dubs against this LSU team, and one of those was at LSU. So kind of just talk about what we might see in this game and what Auburn really needs to do to find victory against a defense that really hasn't been showing too much strength.
Is LSU stepping on the field?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, then is game being played in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, well then never mind. It doesn't matter.
Come on now. It was a close game last.
It doesn't. Look, yes, they won in Baton Rouge. It was also the first time since that was before I was literally even driving a car. Okay, They won for the first time since I've had my driver's license. Okay, and I now have 2 kids, and I'm on like my 4th radio job, and I'm living in like my 5th city. And it's taken that long for them to beat LSU in Baton Rouge for a second time. So no, I don't think they're going to go down to Baton Rouge and think that they're going to play well, and they're going to play against a quarterback that's obviously a really good Heisman contender, and be able to do that. Plus, you've got to do something other than run Army's offense, and that's all that they're doing. Like, I can't even say Georgia Tech anymore because Georgia Tech now is like the second leading passer in the ACC. But they're running a military offense because they can't throw the football because the quarterback sucks.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, look, there's been people that have actually picked Auburn to upset LSU because their defense is bad. Yes, their defense is bad. But you know what else is also bad? Auburn's offense.
Mm-hmm.
And that means you have to score points, and they can't do that.
Yeah.
So until they can actually prove that they're going to score points, they're not going to beat LSU, and they're not going to beat them in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I mean, that just kind of takes me back to that Georgia football game that we were watching when Auburn was able to keep them to a pretty good margin. It kind of just came to, Georgia wasn't playing the best offense during that part of the season. And, I mean, Auburn, they were, able to do the best they could on offense, and they still found themselves losing that game. But now they get to go up against the team that has 10 times better speed, I would say, and has kind of just been in the winning column when it comes to that offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the whole idea of this is, no, LSU doesn't have a great offense, and yes, you can pass on that offense because it's one of the worst in the NCAA, not just the SEC, but the NCAA.
Auburn.
But the other thing is Auburn doesn't have a passing game.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. They don't have good wide receivers. Thorne is a horrific quarterback, and their other quarterback, I don't even know if they know that he can actually pass the football because they never want to do it. He's literally regressed as a passer. So the one thing that helps you in this game is not going to help you against LSU because it's not something that you do well.
Mm-hmm.
If they were a team that could actually pass the football, then I would be like, all right, yeah, no, they have the opportunity to. But the reason why Ole Miss did what they did is because they have a team and an offense that can pass the ball, where Auburn doesn't.
Good stuff right there from Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone. Before we get you out of here, I want to look over at this Missouri-Kentucky game. I know I'm jumping to weird games, but honestly, people aren't really looking at this one right here. 2 5-1 teams going at it, and right now Kentucky is favorited, but I honestly see Missouri taking this one really with a little bit of hesitation, but not really that much.
Well, no, it's two teams that you look at the uniforms and you're like, wait, what? The other thing is you don't know what you're going to really get from these two teams because even though it's, we're 4 and 5 games, 6 games into the season for some teams, you don't really know what a lot of these teams are because they're still learning it. And Missouri's one of them. One, none of us pay attention to Missouri. Like, we just don't, okay? Like, we still forget at times they're a member of the SEC. Only time we remember they're a member of the SEC is the moment that they say, hey, we got to go to St. Louis to play the SEC basketball tournament. And we're like, oh, God, yes, just because of them. All right, fine. But with Kentucky, the Kentucky's actually a better football team than what people are going to give them credit for. I just kind of just look at this and go, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to affect the East. It's not going to affect the West. It's going to, it's one of those that's just, I'd like for it to be kind of entertaining. Plus, you don't know what you're going to get from Kentucky at all. You don't know what you're going to get from Missouri at all.
No. Moving over a little bit out to the West, looking at USC versus Notre Dame. These two teams coming in against each other. It's obviously going to be in South Bend. 5-2 Notre Dame against the 6-0 USC team, who does not have a defense until hopefully this Saturday. Kind of just give us a preview on this one.
I think that USC is arguably a much better team than what people want to give them credit for, and I think that it's all getting hid in the whole idea of how bad the situation is in the Pac-12 as far as an administrative point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the actual product on the field, Pac-12 has some really good football teams. And the USC is one of those teams offensively. Again, very similar to what we were talking about just a second ago with LSU. They have a tremendous offense, and you're going to see that offense tomorrow. But it's the problem of this is going to be your defense in this. And honestly, though, in 2023, their offense is the only thing they have to do is be able to put up the points because you know that now with the way a lot of these offenses are being ran, you're going to see 40 and 50 points. Like what we saw from LSU and Ole Miss, Is that really kind of an outlier, or is that really kind of more of like what you're going to see when you get into types of games like this? Because when Alabama starts rolling further into the season, for them to win football games, they're going to have to get to the 30 and 40 mark when you start getting into your good teams, your Georgias, your LSUs. No, not your Auburn, but your other good ones. Like, you're going to have to score 40 points. That's the type of offense you have to put up. And so this USC team is built that way. Oregon is built that way. Those are the types of teams. Washington is built that way.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to see a good matchup with Washington as they face off against Oregon in this upcoming week of college football. But, Joe, thanks for hopping on with us, man. Wish it could have been longer, but we know you're busy. Tell the people where they can find you on Twitter and online.
At Joe Hunk is where you can find us every Wednesday night. We have the Gamer Zone. We preview the Titans' upcoming matchup. So we're going to be off next week because of the bye week. But then in 2 weeks we get to play a Titans game where we're rocking those Oilers uniforms. So that's going to be an Oiler game against the Falcons.
Looking forward to it, Joe. Can't wait for that. Can't wait to get you back on the show next Friday. You have a good one, brother.
All right, y'all have fun. Love you. Wave at me from outside the window because I can see y'all. Bye. Come on.
You can't see us. There's no windows up here. Come on now. Well, there's one window, Bandy. It's that window right there. Either way, we got to hop into a break. When we come back, we're going to be hopping on with Drew DeArmond from Talking Ball, as well as going over a few more of these wacky underdog picks here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Your roof is the first line of defense for your home. Do you have water stains on your ceiling, paint peeling off your walls, shingles missing? It's probably time for you to get your free roof inspection. Locally owned and operated, licensed, and insured, Yellowhammer Roofing is the Yellowhammer State hometown team. Yellowhammer Roofing. Let our family protect what's most important to you, your family. 256-232-1933 or online at yellowhammerroofing.com.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle Companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do afterpaint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
Alumni Hall is the ultimate shopping experience for Alabama and Auburn fans. Located right here in Huntsville, come shop the best selection of officially licensed apparel, accessory, and gifts. Alumni Hall has the newest products from Nike, Under Armour, Yeti, New Era, Champion, Columbia, Southern Tide, Peter Millar, and more. And you can earn cash back with their Hall Pass rewards. Alumni Hall, located in the Bridge Street Shopping Center, or shop anytime at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where fans shop. Look the part. Go to Alumni Hall. Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high? But so is average consumer debt. Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit northalabamamortgage.com for more information.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 70s. Maybe an isolated shower across the Tennessee Valley, but in general, it looks like we're going to end up staying nice and dry. A quiet night for Friday night football. Temperatures eventually dropping into the upper 50s, lower 60s as we head into the earliest hours of Saturday morning. A mostly to partly sunny sky Saturday afternoon. Maybe a rogue shower. Otherwise, temperatures climb into the low and mid 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, that's enough. We're copyrighted. Welcome back, everybody. John Abraham, Captain Cool. You just went straight to turning that down. You did exactly what I needed you to, Bandy. Good job on that. We're going to hop into a good conversation here in a second with one Mr. Drew DeArmond. But before we do that, make sure you guys do know that the Underdog Picks will continue after this segment. So remember, 256-576-4
97.7
is the number to call. And if you forget it, it's right above Bandy's name, right above Bandy over on WZZN TV on YouTube and Twitch. But hopping on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline with us is one Mr. Drew DeArmond from Talking Ball. Drew, how are you doing today, man?
Good, guys. Getting ready. Betty and I are going to head out to DAR tonight. We're going to be doing Randolph and the Patriots. Another key 4A Region 8 game for Randolph, trying to get above that 500 mark and get a 2-game winning streak going coming out of the bye. They did a nice job against Madison County, and as Bandy will remember, in the fog and the rain and the Jack the Ripper. It was very interesting conditions. Hopefully, we'll be inside the friendly confines of the press box and have better weather tonight. Should be a picturesque, setting. We're looking forward to that. And I know you guys are talking about underdog picks. I'll tell you one that I don't like them to win the game, but I like them to. I would definitely take the points. I'm going to take Auburn. I think the spread's about 11 right now. Mm-hmm. I think I said on Talking Ball this morning I would go around a 31-23 score. I think Auburn can generate enough against this LSU defense, even on the road. I know they struggled and lost 27-10 at College Station. It's going to be at night in Baton Rouge, but I still think Hugh Freeze, with this bye week, can come up with a plan to keep them in the game. I just don't think that their defense, I think they're going to get a little tired. I don't think they got enough depth in some spots because they're banged up. And we know LSU's got the best offense in the league. I don't see them holding them under 30. But I like LSU 31-23 in the game.
That was a good little pick right there, and I honestly, I'm siding with you on that one. Definitely a pick to keep an eye on too. But moving over to the Alabama-Arkansas game, I feel like we haven't talked enough about this one, just because the urgency really isn't there as much as it was with the Ole Miss game, with the Mississippi State game. But this one right here, Alabama 19.5-point favorite. What is the key to victory for this Crimson Tide team against Arkansas?
I just think it's a mindset game, man, and that's kind of been Coach Saban's message throughout the week when he's talking about you're guaranteed nothing. Mm-hmm. And so Alabama's won 16 in a row against these guys under Coach Saban, and there's been a few been close. 2010 comes to mind, the Bobby Petrino game where Ryan Mallett played really well for most of it, but Alabama came back in the second half. Robert Lester got a key interception, a touchdown late from Mark Ingram, and then Dre Kirkpatrick, the game-sealing interception. And, I'm getting so old now, he has a son that will be at Alabama next year. So, Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. So, Dre sealed that game in 2010. And in 2014, it was a 14-13 game in Fayetteville. Arkansas fumbled through the end zone in the first quarter, kind of set the tone. Landon Collins got a key interception. And Alabama survived. And in Nick Saban's first game against Arkansas in Tuscaloosa, a late John Parker Wilson to Matt Caddell touchdown pass. So there has been some very competitive games in the series, but Alabama's found a way to win. They've got to do that Saturday. I do think Arkansas's offensive line issues are going to be tough to get by for the Hogs, though. They've not played well up front. As you know, Alabama's played exceptionally well defensively and continues to get better. So I like that matchup for Alabama. When you talk about offensive line for Arkansas against Alabama's front seven, I heavily favor Alabama there. And, I just need to see Milroe continue to progress. He needs to continue to grow. He certainly played well last week, his best game against A&M, but he's going to be facing a defense at Arkansas that's very disruptive. They force a lot of turnovers under Travis Williams and certainly Marcus Woodson. So he needs to take care of the football. Alabama needs to get their running game going, guys. They didn't run it at all last week, 23 yards. To me, they need to go for between 180 and 200 against Arkansas. They need to keep pounding. They need to take some of the pressure off Milroe. Milroe needs to make some plays with his legs as well. Continue to grow in confidence throwing the football. And I like Alabama to lay the points here. I like 37-10. I think they can pull away. I'm not sure Arkansas has a good enough front to keep, KJ Jefferson upright. And Arkansas has played hard in every game, so they certainly have played a lot of close games. It wouldn't shock me if they were able to keep it under, within striking distance into the second half. But I just think if Alabama continues to stop the run the way they have and continues to pressure the QB and be disruptive, I think Alabama's going to win the turnover battle, and I think Alabama can pull away in the latter stages of the third quarter into the fourth and win this game comfortably.
Good stuff from Drew DeArmond. And before we get you out of here, Drew, looking over at the last two games that really do pique our interest, Texas A&M versus Tennessee or Missouri versus Kentucky, kind of just pick which one you want to hop on and kind of just ride with it.
Well, I'll talk a little bit about both of them. I think interestingly, I like Kentucky because they're at home. Mm-hmm. I know both these teams. It's different ends of the spectrum. Like Kentucky got completely annihilated at Georgia last week, and we know Missouri put a lot of emotion into their home game against LSU, and they lost 49-39. Yeah. Look, the game was over at the end of the first quarter when it's 21-0 or whatnot, early second quarter. For Georgia and Kentucky. For Kentucky, to me, that's easier to recover from because, look, this game was over. You understand you didn't play very well, but you understand you're still, got a lot at stake for this season as far as, finishing second in the SEC East, winning 10 games, going to a nice bowl game. Kentucky can still have a very good year. And I think, they've, and again, it's not like they've had a lot of success against Georgia in the past. So to me, I think they'll bounce back nicely. They're built on defense in the running game, and I think that they're going to want to control the clock against Missouri. If you're Mizzou, certainly you've kind of been a Cinderella story, but I think the schedule had a lot to do with that. It was heartbreaking. They threw a lot into it. They pushed LSU to the brink. They even had a 22-7 lead. But I would take Kentucky in this game. I think they're going to win it. I think it's going to be close, but I would say somewhere along the lines of a 27-24 type game. I still like the Wildcats, and it's been a very small spread, basically 2.5. Mm-hmm. I would take Kentucky, though. And then when you talk about Texas A&M, Tennessee, I took the Vols 27-21. I just think Josh Heupel, the big stat guys, Josh Heupel was undefeated at home in his tenure as Tennessee head coach. And Jimbo Fisher in true road games is 0-7 the last 7 games. They haven't played well on the road. And then they threw a lot into the Alabama game. They thought this was the year, just like Ole Miss did, that they were going to get Alabama. They didn't. And I think their front seven can keep them in this game against the Vols. But I like Tennessee because of the home field. And I think the Vols, if they keep pounding and Milton protects the ball pretty well, and he's had some issues with that this year, but if Tennessee wins the turnover battle and can keep that three-headed monster going at tailback, I like Tennessee to find a way to win in the fourth quarter.
Good stuff from Drew DeArmond from Talking Ball. Drew, we look forward to talking with you again next Monday, but have a great weekend. Get all of the football you need and then just throw it at us next week.
Yeah, no doubt, John. You and Joe have a good call. Should be a good game over at Madison City School Stadium. department trying to bounce back against a good Bob Jones team that's hot.
Oh, yeah.
They've won 3 in a row, so there's a lot of playoff implications to go with that game, and everybody looks forward on Zone 4 to listening to that game tonight as well. All the great folks that help out and listen to our streaming network. And don't forget, after the game, we'll have a lot of reaction on the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by the Huntsville Sports Commission, Bandy.
Yes, sir.
I couldn't say it any better. There you go. Drew DeArmond from Talking Ball. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you, guys.
Good stuff from him. Now, we're going to hop right into these wacky underdog picks. I'd say spooky underdog picks today. So if you guys want to hit the lines, 256-5764.
97.7. And speaking of that, when we take our time out, Brandon, we have you on the line. We're going to get right to you for your picks.
Nice. You're just going to throw it at us, and then we're just going to continue on. The phones will be hot, so definitely try and get in for your chance to win a party of 2 over at Gunner's Landing at the end of this football season. We'll be back here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios without the cost and safety concerns for trainees. With Higher Echelon's game-based training, you'll experience realistic simulations, precision accuracy, and unparalleled safety. Higher Echelon founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and puts that experience to use. His team has been building cutting-edge virtual training environments for soldiers and clients for a decade. Higher Echelon, the name you can trust for advanced training solutions. Reach out at higherechelon.com to get your free consultation. Go Higher and go Army.
Hi, this is Eli Gold. 28 Southeastern Conference football championships, 18 national championships. This is Alabama football, and your home for the Crimson Tide Sports Network is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the Morning Blitz. We got Brandon on the phone lines, almost to the neighbors' phone lines. No, it's the Flow phone lines. Brandon, how you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, y'all.
We're doing pretty good as well. I feel for you, though. The Braves, obviously, we got to get that out of the way. I'm a Bruins fan. Best teams in the league always go out in the first round. It's very sad to see. What's your underdog pick for this week?
Well, I am going to go out to the Mountain West.
Okay.
And and I'm going to take my Air Force Falcons minus 11 in Wyoming in the game they call the bar fight that I've gone to see a few times.
Yeah.
I think Air Force wins this game, and then I think they beat Colorado State, and I think they go undefeated in the Mountain West.
Okay. I get that. Wyoming has been pretty good as of late, but I can see Air Force being a little bit better in getting that dub.
They put the full in full back. I love the way they run the football.
Good stuff. We'll get you in there, Brandon.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, brother.
Definitely looking forward to that Arkansas game. But real quick, before, obviously, the phone line's still open for you guys to hop in, 256-5764.
97.7.
Right now, Brandon's got his pick in, Air Force over Wyoming. Bandy, keep up with that one. I've got it down as well. But a game I want to look at, because it is one of the better matchups, 2 top 10 opponents going at it. Washington versus Oregon. And I got to say, when people look at these teams, there's Bo Nix. Obviously, he's been having a wonderful season. And then there's Michael Penix Jr., who's also having almost the exact same success this season. They have not played anybody this season, either teams. And Oregon's got to look forward to a tough 3-game slate, whereas Washington looks forward to not really anybody until I think it's USC in November. So, Washington's got a little bit of leeway going into this game. Right now, they are a 3-point favorite, so you guys can get in on the wacky underdog picks. Get Oregon in this one if you believe that Bo Nix has what it takes to find victory against a solid Washington team. But it looks like we got somebody else on the Neighbors Wealth Management hotline or the Flow hotline. Bandy, who do we got now?
We got my cousin Vinny on the Flow phone line. What's going on, Vinny?
I'm just living large right now, wanting to do a stupid underdog thing or whatever it is you guys call it.
There you go.
I'm ready to win something.
There you go. What game are you looking at this week?
I'm looking at the Auburn game.
Okay. All right.
Now it's got to be. It's not just beating the spread. It's got to be an outright winner, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, 80% of the time, good offense bad offense beats bad defense. So let's go with Auburn on that one.
Okay, we'll put you down for it. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, it is in Baton Rouge. It is going to be going up against the hot Jaden Daniels, but we'll get you down for that one, Vinny.
All right, I appreciate it. Good luck, guys.
Thank you. Good stuff. We got Jason up next. Jason, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good. I am going with the Syracuse Orangemen this week.
Okay. That is going to be an interesting one right there. I mean, what are you seeing in this Syracuse team that makes you think that they might be able to get the upper hand on Florida State?
Florida State's overranked.
Okay. I can kind of attest to that.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm with you there.
Yeah, Boston College really put them through the ringer, but we'll get you down for that one, Jason. I'm looking forward to it. Syracuse, they've been hot this season, but they have lost their last 2. It's very similar to last year as well, so it's kind of upsetting to see, but we'll get you down for that one.
All right, appreciate it.
Good stuff from Jason. Throwing the Syracuse Orange into the fray. A team that I picked, actually, a few weeks ago. But, Bandy, I need to tell you something, man. Outside of that Oregon-Washington game, the big game that I'm going to be watching, outside of Alabama, of course, because we want to see them obviously get the dub.
And outside of Oregon-Washington.
And, well, I already, said that. It's going to be the Mizzou versus Kentucky game. Because I don't know, I know, everybody's got their own opinions on it, but the way that this Mizzou offense has been able to roll compared to Devin Leary and this Kentucky Wildcats team, Ray Davis can't do it all. And they need, this guy named, Devin Leary to really show up and do exactly what he needs to do and actually complete some passes, or they're not going to be able to find success on offense. Whereas Missouri's been totally fine. Missouri's going to be great. Brady Cook, he's been doing wonderful this season. I'm going to see a lot of success from him. On top of that, defense just being able to, do just enough to be able to hold Kentucky. And this is a very close game we'll be looking at, guys. Right now, Kentucky is a 2.5-point favorite. You can't put this one in the wacky underdog picks. However, Missouri is coming to this one very hot as well, even though, they're coming off of that loss. But they are coming in with a pretty good quarterback. Brady Cook, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, to a Devin Leary who's, completed less than a half of his passes. He's 12 for 5 on the touchdown to interception ratio. And then you look over on the running game, and Missouri's got just as capable running backs as the Kentucky. Missouri's got just as capable running backs as Kentucky. Sorry about that. Ray Davis is good. okay? But again, he needs to be playing up against an opponent where he can actually be good against. Florida's defense, able to put up 270 yards, which was absolutely ridiculous. Last week against Georgia, you're not going to see any of that stuff. This week against the Missouri team, I'm going to guess it right now, okay? I'm going to guess he's going to put up 75 yards, and he's going to have a touchdown. I'll say that right now. Hold me on it. Ray Davis, that's what he's going to do. Devin Leary, I think he's going to complete on maybe 65% of his passes, and he's probably going to have a little over 150 yards. I think that's going to be happening. Now, if it hits a different way, Kentucky might find some success in the quarterback position. He might surprise me. But, again, this offense not able to really show me enough to where I think they can beat this Missouri offense in the points game, because this is just a solid team with Luther Burton, too, just doing some big stuff for this team. I mean, 793 yards on the season with 3 touchdowns. You know the closest guy on Kentucky's team that has this type of talent?
Who's that?
It's Tavion Robinson. Yeah, I know that was a big bop over there, but Tavion Robinson has 317 yards. That's their leading receiver. 3 touchdowns. To Luther Burton, who obviously is built different, who's got 793 yards, okay? Their second wide receiver has more yards than Kentucky's leading wide receiver. This is going to be an offensive game. It's going to be a high-scoring game, but I do think that one team is going to get the high score, whereas the other team's going to fall flat and come around maybe 27 points.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of a coin flip, too, when it comes to it. I mean, Kentucky's favored by 2.5, but, I mean, that's 3 coming from just being at home.
Yeah, they are at home.
Missouri's really favored by 0.5 point.
Yeah.
When in reality, that's a coin flip.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting one. That's the one that I'm going to be going out of my way to watch, and I think you guys should too, because it's 2 5-1 teams in the SEC going up against each other. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But make sure you guys do keep up with Alabama's football game. We're going to be on the station on Saturday. And then before that, even just to start off the weekend, is the amazing slate of high school football we've got coming your guys' way, obviously, with Buckhorn versus Lee, Madison Academy versus Vinemont, Sparkman versus Bob Jones, and Randolph versus DAR, which Bandy will be on the call with one Mr. Drew D. Armand. But
yes, sir.
It's going to be a fun night. It should be beautiful. It should be around 65 to 70 degrees come kickoff. Bandy, it's going to be a wonderful weekend. We're back, baby. We're back. We got you guys' underdog picks in. We'll see who's going to be able to come up on top. Honestly, you guys should have listened to some of the interviews earlier in the show. We could have got in some better underdog picks, but they're going for the long balls, all right? We want to see those 11 points being thrown out. Still, yet to see anybody win on these underdog picks, but it's coming. I can taste it, Bandy, man. I can taste it. And you know what else I can taste? Some Bubby's Diner. I can taste some Bubby's Diner. I can do that. Good stuff. Bandy, I'll see you on Monday, man. Maybe see you over the weekend. You want to try and come over and watch some football with me?
Yeah, I'll be down.
Okay.
I mean, hey, other way around, too.
Hey, I also got an Xbox 360. We can play some like college football. Either way, for me and the Bandy Man, this has been the Morning Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your